This episode of Says Who is made possible by you. That's right. Thanks.
Oh,
I thought I'd do it short, but then I gotta explain it. But I gotta tell them that it's through the Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That's our Patreon, where pretty much every Sunday you get this all over again. You get me and Maureen doing a thing we call the Town Watch, which is available for you if you give it the $5 or $10 a month level. That $10 a month level also gets you a sticker in the mail every single month that you give it that level, and they're all great. The one that just went out in the mail, whew, man, that's one of my favorites of all time. That's a crazy thing. I've drawn a lot of these.
Yeah.
And that one, right up there. Right up there. Anyway, patreon.com/sayswho.
Books are great. Books are good. Books, read them if you should. No, could. Do it. No, just read them. Velvet Knife coming this October. You're going to love it. Tell 90 friends.
I don't have 90 friends.
Make 90 friends.
Wow.
Tell 90 friends.
Okay.
That's my slogan. Make
Challenge
90 friends.
accepted.
Tell 90. Thank you.
If you would like to order Maureen's books, you can always go to kickbezosintheballs.org. That's our own little bookshop where we have quick links to all Maureen's books, to books we've mentioned here on the podcast, too. And then there you can just order any old book, pretty much. It's a good time. kickbezosintheballs.org. And while you're buying stuff, go to merch.sayswhopodcast.com, where we have a whole bunch of Says Who merchandise. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
And you can also go to shop.dansinker.com, where I sell a bunch of stuff like patches and stickers and shirts and hats. So go on over there.
Do it.
I feel like for the last 2 weeks, I've promised that the Trying Baseball hats are going to be in stock, but they are not yet in stock. I just had a big long back and forth with the folks doing the embroidery work, trying to get the things placed right. We're almost there. They were gone last week, so that would be the problem. Anyway, shop.dansinker.com.
Okay, let's get ready to get started.
Hey, hang on, I just got something. I just got a letter delivered. Hang on.
That just came through a chute in the wall there.
Yeah, I have a mail sheet down here. Oh. Okay. Huh.
What is it?
Oh, I just got it says, "We didn't want to spoil the fun when that man came with a," and then it's blank. And then it just says, "You've been invited to the all-new redo of the White House Correspondents Association dinner."
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're a journalist, Dan, but are you normally on the list for this?
Definitely not. Definitely not. It does say here, it says, due to a number of cancellations,
right,
we're reaching out to you as a podcaster.
They didn't ask me. I mean,
well,
are you going or?
I don't have a bulletproof vest.
Says Who? The podcast. That is not that podcast.
Wow. It's a coping strategy. I'm Dan Sinker.
Bonjour.
Wow. We're classing it up.
Je suis français. Ha ha ha.
You're like, Dan's made 2 gun jokes in 30 seconds. I'm going to class it up by going French.
Yeah. Now I'm French. I could have gone German, but I don't know.
It's not as classy.
It is. It's very classy.
German is not as classy as French.
Das ist nicht so.
It's all.
Das ist nicht so.
Yeah, see, it's not as nice.
So, man, my German teacher would have gotten so up my ass for that accent just then. I was bad on all my. She was tough.
Well, she was also a nun.
She was the most nun who I've ever nunned. Famously crazy within the order. Yeah.
That's good.
Oh,
who doesn't love a crazy nun?
Very good teacher. Very intense woman. Very intense woman.
Really? A nun that's a German teacher. Huh.
By far the most intense person I have ever met in my entire life.
Wow. What was her name?
Sister, oh my God, Sister Irene. Schwester Irena. And she has no competition.
Okay.
For intensity.
Well, I mean, I do feel like that's kind of your whole bag if you are a Catholic nun school teacher teaching German. Feel like you're going to be pretty intense.
Dan, when you have 90 hours, I'll tell you all about Schwester Irena, but you don't have that kind of energy.
I don't. I got so many things happening, Maureen. I feel like my brain's going to explode. Well, I am officially, I mean, I've mentioned this before, but I have two of my gigs all kind of culminate in work right now. And it is happening. And I feel like I'm going to die.
Don't die, Dan.
I mean, I probably won't die. Maybe I'm being a scotch dramatic. But it's a lot. I've got, just too many things.
How's your book?
My book is going great.
Mm-hmm.
I spent the weekend writing software to write the book. Not that the software will write the book, but that I can use to write the book.
It's fun to be on the other side of this.
It's good software, Maureen.
Right. So you made software to write a book, but there is software available.
I know, but I don't like any of it. Mm-hmm. None of it's working the way I want it to work.
Right.
Because I've got to make bits, and then I've got to put those bits together into a bigger bits.
I do that too, and there is software that does that.
Yeah, but it's Scrivener, and I hate Scrivener.
Okay.
Scrivener feels like, if you want to use me, spend the next month of your life learning my weird ins and outs.
Don't use the ins and outs. Just use the thing with the chapters.
Yeah, but instead I could make my own, and it's beautiful. You make a little project, then you can just create arbitrary chapters. You can write in the chapters, or you can create what are called things that go in the chapters. You can rearrange it all. You never have to touch a mouse for any of it. It's all keyboard based. And then I did the most important thing.
Which is just go back, just use the software and start writing the book?
No, now I'm building a computer to run the software. But it's great. It's got a little 7-inch screen. Got a teeny tiny little computer board. And then it all hooks up to my nice favorite clickety-clackety keyboard.
Dan, but you have probably multiple computers?
I mean, I have 3.
Right. Okay.
But now I have 4, and it's little and small and pretty. Well, it will be pretty. Right now, it's just a bunch of loose pieces in a cardboard box, but eventually,
is it like a Raspberry Pi or something?
Yeah, it's a Raspberry Pi Zero, and a little 7-inch screen. It can only do one thing, which is connect to the website to run this software. But then it doesn't even need to be on the website. So I'm going to make a little switch where you can turn on and off the Wi-Fi. It's going to be great.
Now, Dan, I have a machine that does that. It's called a FreeWrite.
Right. This is better than the FreeWrite, though.
Why?
Because you can create the FreeWrite. You're just going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this, you can still go back into your chapters. You can jump into the bits. You can see all of it
on a 7-inch screen.
Yeah, surprisingly spacious.
Okay,
it's great.
So, how's your book?
It's going good. Soon enough. Eventually, by the end of the day today, I'm going to have a prototype of the case made.
The case?
Well, that it fits in.
a prototype of the case for the computer that you're building for the software that you made to write your book.
Exactly.
Right. And how's your book?
It's going good. Like I just said.
You're making a prototype of the case for the computer you're building to house the software that you created to write the book.
That's right. The rest is just detail. It's just writing.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I am excited to.
Yeah, so you're going to want one. When it's done, you're going to be like, can I get one?
Dan, what you need is a new notebook.
See, this is like the new notebook on steroids.
I don't know if that's good.
Speaking of notebooks, I've mentioned this before. It's the 28th. We're recording this on the 28th of April. Tomorrow's the 29th of April. Thursday's the 30th of April.
Well, this has been date talking.
That means there are 3 days left in this month with which I need pages in my notebook to complete. And I have 5 pages in my notebook.
Is that enough?
So close to the edge. It's stressing me out. I did get, somebody actually made an excellent suggestion that I've not taken them up on, but they were like, what you should do is just add some extra paper, fold it in half, use a rubber band, put it through the middle of where these paper folds, and rubber band it to the back of the thing, and then you're good. I was like, that's actually super brilliant, but I can't do it. There's a part of me, it's like, I gotta make it. I gotta make it to the end of the notebook without adding anything.
This will save some time. Why don't you design a notebook, paper, get the paperweight, get that printed, bind it yourself, sew it in, design your cover, get a prototype of the cover, sew it together.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. That sounds like a good idea.
Oh no. Oh no.
That sounds like an excellent idea. But the trick is I only have 2 days. I could probably do it.
And you got to build that you got to build that prototype for the case for the computer that you built to house the software that you made to write your book.
Yeah.
So you don't have time.
Actually just pulled the first prototype off the printer right before we recorded, but it turned out my measurements were off by 5 millimeters. So it doesn't fit around the screen.
Right.
So I got to redo that and print it.
Reprint.
But I didn't have time before we recorded.
Right.
Anyway, how are you?
Dan, didn't you just say that all the jobs you're doing are conversion?
Yeah,
there's a couple.
Yeah.
I noticed like 3 things you said in there. So all your jobs are converging.
Yeah.
So in order to write a book that's the next job, you built software and a computer.
Yeah. I was on the weekend, though.
I mean, you're very talented.
It's good. It's good. It's gonna be fine.
I couldn't make a computer.
I mean, it's just putting pieces together. It's not like I'm soldering shit yet.
Yeah, but I don't know how to make a computer.
Well, it's fun. I'll teach you. We can do it together. The best thing was the screen was like $40. The board was like $30. Like, it was very inexpensive.
Yeah, I mean, Raspberry Pis are supposed to be,
And then I had, then I already had the keyboard. It's my favorite one, which they don't make anymore. So, but I have a dream, Maureen. This is the dream. This is what it's all leading to.
Writing your book?
It is, exactly. But my dream is this. We are going to be spending 3 weeks this summer at my very favorite trailer park, 10 minutes from Disneyland, called Orangeland, where we stayed a few years ago. And my great dream is to be sitting out every morning, get up early, go outside when it's still kind of cool in the LA air, and sit in front of this weird little computer and just clickety-clack the book out.
I mean, it's beautiful.
I know.
If memory serves, didn't you write a program a while ago that was designed to put the events of your book in like a timeline order?
Mm-hmm. I did that. And then I also wrote one to deal with all of the photographs that I took when I was in Muncie, because it was mostly documents and I needed to be able to put those together. So I made that. See, it's all coming together.
That actually sounds very handy. I just take the photos I need and then I just have a really full phone.
Yeah, no, this is really good. It OCRs them, does the whole 9.
Really?
Yeah. You can search through the text. Yeah, see?
Yeah, it does sound nice.
By the time this book is done, Maureen, I'm going to have a whole suite of software.
By the time you're going to be like Syncersoft. I mean, this is...
I mean, it's handy. It's all good stuff.
Like a Western, like a general store. Come on down to Uncle Dan's Software Emporium.
Exactly. Have you thought about writing a book? What about writing software instead?
Danny, get your software here. We're processing in software for your photos here.
The photo one was really necessary, though.
Software is a word. That means you're not writing your book.
It's true. But I also am. One of the things that was actually very helpful about the trip to Muncie.
Look, if anybody's going to respect this, it's going to be me.
One of the things that was very helpful about going to Muncie and talking to the folks that I talked to was me recognizing that I actually knew a lot. Like, I've been doing a lot of work in addition to writing and things like that. But, most of it at this point is research, and the research is paid off.
You have to do a lot of research.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy amount, like just a ridiculous amount, but it's good. It's all good. Anyway, how are you? This is too much about me. How are you?
I remember one kind of rough equation they gave us. My MFA for my sins is in nonfiction, and they're like, of all the research you do, you may, if you're lucky, use 25% of it.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, definitely. Like, but you've got to get it. You've got to get through it all.
Yeah.
To then know what you actually need to use.
Right.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Which is why I could be found at some point walking around London parks with my ear genuinely sort of to the ground till I could till I pointed at an exact little drain in the middle of the park and go, this right here is one of the underground rivers that they covered up when they made the sewer.
Wow.
And that's the kind of thing I needed to know.
Yeah. See?
I did several years of work for the Shades of London series on what stuff under London.
Yeah. I believe it.
Covered up, because London used to be full of rivers.
Yeah.
It was like Fleet Street, you could like ride up on a boat to some of the pubs that are there now, and they covered them over. Don't even get me started on the sewer. Don't even
see. What if, Maureen, during all of that,
I made a computer,
and you'd made a
computer about
piece of mapping software that you could then utilize.
Yeah. Mine is going to look like some sort of, I guess in that case, some sort of steampunky, like.
Yeah.
It's called the Riverator. And you turn this dial here and it tells you where all the water used to be.
See, now you're talking. Now you're really writing. But really, how are you?
See this?
Oh, Maureen's showing me. Is that galleys?
It's laid out pages of Velvet Knife. Final review. So it's the final, like I'm going to read through and do. These are the smallest of the changes. Maybe.
Yeah. I know how you roll.
Like small sentence level changes at most at this point. But
yeah, that's what they say. But we know how you do.
Well, this has been printed, and I believe this is what the so whatever is in here, even if it's not quite right, this is what the galley copies are.
That's what the art will be.
So.
Change it all.
They already want to kill me, Dan.
Yeah. They love you.
They fine.
Love you. But how are things?
I made a chart. Simple chart. Because I too was like, I have project. When am I going to do it all? And so I took like 45 minutes and made a little chart I just put in all the things and then like just kind of figured out what months they had to go in.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly clarifying work.
Yeah, see? Same thing.
Not the same thing, Dan. You built a computer to house the software you wrote.
Yeah.
I made a list.
Yeah, potato.
Trust me, no one's going to respect this move more than me.
Yeah.
Nobody. Except I used to do things like, I know what I'll do. I'll go paint my ceiling. Although I don't have a ceiling roller, so I guess I'll build one since it's 2 a.m.
See, now how did you do that? What did you use?
I taped a broom handle to I just taped a whole broom to a roller.
Oh, so you had the roller. You just didn't have the extension.
Right. And I didn't take the broom part off. So I basically was like holding a broom like this.
No, perfect.
I used to repaint my old apartment, I don't know, once every 6 months.
Your landlord must have loved you.
That was my landlord. Oh, but it was always really nice. I also I ripped out my disgusting floor. It was a January night, I remember, and I was like, fuck this floor. And I just didn't even have gloves. And I just ripped it out with my bare hands and took it outside and dumped it.
You didn't, doesn't your landlord care? Didn't your landlord care about that kind of thing?
It was gross old linoleum in one solid, like peeling up piece.
Yeah.
And I just pulled it up.
But we had that same thing. And we just called our landlords and was like, look, this is untenable. And then they were we'll replace that.
No, my landlord was an idiot.
Okay.
My landlord was the guy that once replaced a leaking toilet with duct tape. And that was the same guy that one day when I flipped the bathroom switch and fire shot out of the wall, I reflipped the switch back down and left the apartment and called him on the way and went, hey, Rudy, fire shot out of my bathroom wall. And when I came home, he had taken out the wall lighting fixture that was there, put in a much smaller one that was crooked.
Okay.
There were scorch marks running down the wall. He was the same guy that one day I was sitting in my apartment because it had a middle room. Like you walked into it was a small vestibule. And then there was like this square middle room that all the rooms came off of, the bathroom, the kitchen, the bedroom, and the living room all came off of this like rather large middle room. It was about 10 by 10.
Okay.
But you couldn't really do anything with it because it was just like in the middle of the apartment. And like, it didn't have so I basically just kept bookcases in there.
Okay.
But one day I was at my desk in the living room and I heard it was raining outside, except it wasn't. It was a sunny day. And I turned and it was raining inside and it was raining in my middle room. And I ran in and started dragging out my bookcases and throwing stuff over them. And I was like, Rudy, it's raining in my middle room. And he had a friend across the street with a bucket who was slightly smarter. And he came up, he's like, oh yeah, it's the bathtub upstairs is leaking the pipes. So they took out a big chunk of my ceiling.
Yeah.
And I saw the underside of my neighbor's iron bathtub just floating above me.
Perfect.
For a week with space around it. It was always like, well, I hope that doesn't come down. And then they put the ceiling back up again. And I remember he and his friend standing there going, okay, the plaster's still wet. And Rudy's like, I'm going to paint it. And his friend was like, Rudy, you can't paint it now. If you paint it now, it'll go yellow. And he's like, I know. And then he painted it and it went yellow. And I called him and I was like, Rudy, the ceiling went yellow. He goes, yeah, well, you're not supposed to paint the plaster when it's still wet. So that's why I didn't call Rudy.
You just took matters into your own hands. I get it now.
Oh, yeah. No, anything was an improvement. I did use my friend's heat stripper because the cabinets had been painted so many times they didn't close anymore. They never closed.
Okay.
Because the paint was so thick. So I borrowed my friend's heat gun, which was like to strip it, but it probably wasn't a good idea because there was almost definitely lead paint.
Oh yeah. You were definitely inhaling some lead fumes there.
A little worried about that.
Yeah.
But the glass was about, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch thick. There was a big, really low kitchen window that you could almost fall out of constantly.
Perfect.
It was incredibly fiery and it was very big though, and right near a good train station in Astoria and at a really good price. So you held on to that shit.
Yeah.
It was like $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a good rate. So I was like, I can't get rid of this. It's huge. It's insane. But then I did eventually get rid of it.
That's
and
sad.
I went to Home Depot and I bought like floor squares and I just put them down instead. And the kitchen looked great. It looked so much better.
Yeah.
All I ever did was improve the place. I'm just saying it was a January night and I said, fuck this floor. And it was just at a certain time where I was like, I don't have time to wait for tools or things I'm supposed to use. I just ripped it out.
I love it. I love it.
With no TikTok to help me.
Just do it. That's how we roll.
Yep.
DIY,
So
baby.
That's sort of the reason I had to paint my apartment every 6 months was occasionally it was on fire or raining. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
Could have been a really nice apartment if he had any idea how to take care of it.
Oh, landlords are landlords.
Yeah. We always paid our rent promptly on time, but it would be the first of the month and I would have the check ready about to go downstairs and drop it off. And he would knock on my door at like 9 a.m. and he's like, your rent. And I was like, yeah, Rudy, it is right here. I was about to come downstairs and hand it to you. He's like, yeah.
He's desperate. He needs it. The big one's landlord cashes his rent check like 3/4 of the way through the month, which makes him insane because it's LA rent in 2026. It's a big chunk of money, and it's just like hanging out in his bank account for way too long. It's amazing that check has never bounced. Because he also, in 2026, this man still wants a written check.
Yeah. I used written checks up until 8 months ago.
Really? For what?
For my rent.
That's wild.
Yeah.
We, on the rare occasion that we need a check, it's like run around the house trying to find the ancient checkbook that was issued to us 20 years ago and still has checks available in it.
I have 3 checkbooks in and I use them fairly regularly.
That's wild.
Yeah.
New Yorkers. New Yorkers, you all are adorable.
How dare you?
That's fine.
We're going to have trash cans by 2032, I think. So
yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for that 2032 announcement when they're like, in 2046, we're going to invent a new way of collecting trash.
That's right. Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
This is the last time I say, I saw Project Hail Mary this weekend.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I keep hearing that it's very good.
It's usually space movies are harrowing.
Yeah.
This movie is space happiness. It's all about the importance of friendship.
Oh, well, that's nice.
It's like amazingly heartwarming and funny.
Okay.
It's not about the Earth's good, because you think it's going to be the Earth's going to die and he does a mission to and he is, but it's really about him making a friend.
Okay.
So also Ryan Gosling is a truly good comic actor.
There are so many in my mind the same people. Like I couldn't tell you the difference between that dude and Ryan Reynolds. Same guy,
very
same
different.
name.
No, very, very different. Ryan Gosling is the talented one who's very funny.
All right.
Very funny. The Nice Guys is one of my favorite movies of all times, and he's in that.
Okay. I believe you. Anyway, Maureen Johnson.
Well, there's nothing else to talk about. Says Who has been brought to you by...
We should talk about it. We should talk about it. This weekend, Maureen, was the White House Correspondents Association dinner. And what should have been an absolutely stomach-churning evening of press that should know better, rubbing elbows with all the losers in the administration and getting yelled at by Donald Trump, took a bit of an unexpected turn. when a gunman rushed the security of the Washington Hilton with the intention of assassinating Donald Trump. Before we get into it, Maureen, I just want to think it's worth pointing out.
Yeah.
The Washington Hilton is also where John Hinckley tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe just don't go there if you're president.
Bobby Kennedy is shot in the Los Angeles Sheraton.
I think it was the Sheraton. It's no longer there. There's a park there.
Really?
Yeah. I went to a Korean bakery right across the street from the park that was there. And they have like a little memorial and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into the ballroom of it all in a second. But, Dan?
Yeah.
Obviously, every chump and, the people that who went to that? Who was like, I'm going to go?
Yeah. I mean, so this is ostensibly the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is, where the White House press corps throws themselves a little party. Traditionally, the president of, whatever sitting president does attend. They get a comedian who does a roast. Then usually the president gives a little speech where they roast people. I think it's fair, I think it was the White House Correspondents' Dinner where very famously Barack Obama roasted Donald Trump, and that was sort of the villain origin story of when he decided he was going to run for president. But Trump has not attended any until this one. And so there was sort of a big question mark of who was or was not going to attend. There are definitely a fair number of journalists that did not attend, but a bunch did as well.
Also, apparently, because we're in the Dear Leader, Orwellian version of this, instead of this is where somebody's going to tell jokes about the president was going to stand up and scream at the press and tell them they were all fucking monsters.
Yeah.
That they should all kiss his ass.
Yeah. I think so they've announced that they're going to redo this thing, or Trump announced that they would redo the thing. And I think that's why. I think he didn't get to yell at them yet. So he's like, well, we're going to do this. We're going to keep trying to do this until I can yell at you.
Where were you? Because you sent me a link about it. That's how I found out. Where were you?
We were eating dinner, or maybe we had just finished dinner, I think. And I was looking at my phone and I was like, oh. At first I saw a photograph. It was a photograph of like dudes with big guns standing around a table. And I was like, I think this is fake. Because like there was nothing else in the like blue sky timeline around it. So I think it had just happened. And so like I think the little one is a very slow eater. And Janice usually will get up and kind of start wrapping things up. And I'll stay at the table so that he doesn't feel abandoned. And at one point, I said to Janice, you should check your texts. And she was like, what? And I was like, just go ahead and look. So yeah, we were eating dinner. And then I sent you once I kind of confirmed it, I sent you a text.
I was in the tub having a relaxing soak. I'd started strength training last week, and I did 4 times, and I was doing a little muscle soak, and it was nice. And I was all relaxed, and I looked down.
Perfect.
Bleep, what's this? Dad, it was more like, huh, look at that. My reaction was truly,
yeah. I mean, I think that was most everyone's reaction. It's happened so much now that it's kind of like, oh, huh, wow, all right. But for a room full of journalists, or, journalists in quotes, the initial reports were chaotic as hell. Depending on where you looked, the gunman had made it in the room, the gunman was dead, the gunman never made it close. We do know that thanks to Donald Trump posting pics soon afterwards, that for some reason the gunman ended up shirtless. Oh, yeah, that still hasn't been, and maybe with no clothes at all.
Yeah,
that part was a little confusing, but he is very much alive. I still, in putting these notes together, tried to figure out if he had been shot, and I never found a full confirmation of that. We do know that he sprinted through security, like real running man kind of run through security. Secret Service did end up shooting after him. That may be the gunshots that people heard, were still unclear. One Secret Service person did get shot in their bulletproof vest. Little bit unclear as to whether or not that was a friendly fire incident or not, but considering that they say he was shot with a bullet and the gunman had a buckshot-filled shotgun, that part feels a little weird. Anyway, inside the room, J.D. Vance cleared out before Donald Trump for some reason.
By Secret Service or just on his own volition?
Secret Service. There were people that like grabbed him and ran him out. Like there's a video from the table, like Vance is kind of closest to the camera. Trump and Melania are down at the end, and he's like whisked out. And then people kind of get Donald Trump and then seem to tackle him, or he falls. It's a little bit unclear, but like they kind of get him up.
In that video, Trump is... That was one of the things that confused me the most watching it.
Yeah.
Because clearly the shots are going off. And it's like beat, beat, beat. Trump's looking around, beat, beat, beat. He's there for a while.
Yeah. And apparently Melania heard the gunshots and knew what was up immediately. And Donald Trump was like, no, I hear this stuff all the time. That was somebody dropping a tray. So that's great. Stephen Miller.
Melania, not a great person, not stupid.
No, I mean, I think she can read a room a little better than her husband can. Stephen Miller used his pregnant wife as a human shield on his way out of the room. Classy man. RFK Jr. hustled out by Secret Service, leaving his wife behind. It was, for many folks, as you would expect, a traumatizing night. I do not wish the sudden terror of a gunman in close proximity on anyone. They all know now what it feels like to be a school kid in America for the last couple of decades. But the head, Maureen, of the Ultimate Fighting Championships, Dana White, who was there, had a different take. And I quote, "All of a sudden it started getting noisy. Tables getting flipped over, guys running in with guns, and they were screaming, 'Get down!' I didn't get down. It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it in. It was a pretty crazy, unique experience."
Sure.
It was awesome.
I'm not even going to address the fact that he's at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Yeah. Like, let's not even worry about that.
I mean, the thing about this, the White House Correspondents Association dinner should not exist, period, any time, right? Because it is just this very weird, hobnobbing, chummy shit with the people that you're supposedly covering, right? But this one, because again, Trump has not attended in large part because he knows that they will, bring in a comedian that'll make fun of him or whatever. And then he was going to attend. This one very much feels like they were like, we're going to enter as conquering heroes and we're going to fill the room with our cronies. Invite Dana White. He can be there. I haven't read that Kid Rock was there, but I would imagine that he could have been there, He
was there in spirit.
He was definitely there in spirit, if not in actual presence. But it was really filled with kind of their folks. Plus, they packed the room with kind of right-wing journalists as well. So, some press, like I said, did not attend, which was the right thing to do. Others wore pocket squares with the First Amendment printed on it, which was the wrong thing to do.
Oh my God.
But for those that did attend, it does mean
That's just embarrassing. That's very embarrassing.
Yes.
That's very oh no.
Because there were a whole bunch of journalists there. We did get some amazing first-person accounts like this one from Hugh Doherty, the executive editor of the Daily Beast, who wrote, and this is the headline, "I slept next door to the assassin in Hilton room 10235. This is a security fiasco." And it's true, his room was directly next to the dude. He wrote, "After the shots rang out, after someone shouted, 'Get down,' after what seemed like an eternity staring at my colleagues' shoes, after watching Trump's cabinet rushed out, terror etched on many of their faces by men with their fingers on their triggers, after a Capitol police officer asked me if I'd seen the congresswoman he thought might have been at the next table, after being told to leave and trooping up an elevator past men in ballistic helmets with long guns going down the other elevator. After gathering with my colleagues and trying to process what happened, I went to the elevator and pressed 10 because I wanted to go to my room. When I walked down the darkened, sinuous corridor to room 10235, one door short of the very end, I was stopped by a polite man in a suit and an earpiece. 'Sorry, sir, you can't come through,' he said. And I saw that further down the turn of the corridor behind him were at least 5 men, one in an FBI bulletproof vest, another with a Secret Service police windbreaker. The man who stopped me wearing a Hilton security badge told me, 'Come back in 20 minutes. It's for all our protection.' I assumed they had thrown a protectee into a room. Odd, I thought. But the evening was already more than odd. I went back down the elevator, and we gathered around a laptop to listen to Donald Trump dismiss the security risk, a gunman charging the ballroom I was in, as a fact of life. When I went back upstairs to get into room 10235, the 20 minutes I'd been asked to wait were long gone. The Hilton worker was much nearer the elevator this time. There were many more uniformed men behind him. 'I'm sorry, sir, I can't let you go further,' he said. 'I know you were here earlier.' 'When do you think I can get back in?' I asked. 'I don't know, sir.' A man in a Metropolitan Police uniform next to the Hilton worker said, 'We're waiting on a judge.' In that moment, I had a flash of realization. The police needed a judge because they needed to search the room. Already, security sources had said that they were working on the theory that the gunman had been a hotel guest. I knew then that I had been next door to the man who wanted to turn the White House Correspondents Association dinner into a mass shooting. Maybe I'd slept the night with an assassin in the next room."
Yeah. He was just in the hotel.
Yeah, he was in. I asked the detective another question. "Do you want to talk to me? I mean, I was next door." I gave him my business card and told him the only things I could think of that might be relevant. I knew when I had checked in. I knew when housekeeping had been in my room in the morning. I'd seen no guests in the rooms besides mine at the end of the corridor. Then I was left incredulous by what he did. The detective said to the Hilton worker, "I need the cleaning logs for the room." They hadn't thought of this. It was almost 3 hours since I had been lying on a floor, the echo of gunshots in my head. "We'll be in touch, sir." When I returned to the first floor, I went outside and made a phone call. To my utter disbelief, uniformed men and women trooped past me in vests marked Bomb Squad. And one said to the other, "Do you think they've got a layout of the corridor and the room?"
Only the best.
I mean, I will say one thing. In events like this, always, it's total chaos, right? And like, and I'm not excusing any of this, but like every single time shit like this unfolds, like nobody knows what they're doing. Like nobody knows what they're doing. It's always a fucking mess. So this does feel extra messy, but I'm not sure how different it would be under any other circumstances. The would-be assassin traveled from California. He wrote a lengthy manifesto he sent to his family explaining his actions. It began, "Hello, everybody," which is one way to open a manifesto. It was printed in full by a number of outlets. Don't do that. Here's the thing. I thought we'd figured that part out. Thought we figured out you don't print the manifesto of shooters. But apparently this one's okay. The only possible worse idea would be, I don't know, to read excerpts of it to Donald Trump and ask him what he thinks about it. Which is exactly what 60 Minutes Norah O'Donnell did with Trump on Sunday night. I don't purport to know a lot about the mind of a shooter, but my gut is printing manifestos and then reading those manifestos to the subject of said shooting.
It's pretty high on the...
That's kind of all you want.
Yeah.
I mean, right after that person's dead, right after that would be my whole manifesto gets published and the person who I wanted dead has to answer to what I've written. Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. He said something about, pedophiles.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump said over and over again, I'm not a pedophile. I'm not. Say it again.
Yeah.
Say it again.
We do know that this guy was an aspiring game developer, which is something close in both of our lives. It's handy. And perhaps as a first in what is now a lengthy list of folks who've tried to assassinate Donald Trump, does appear to actually not be a MAGA dude. So there's a first for everything. Anyway, Maureen, I just want to ask one question.
Okay.
Was there anyone in the room that could have put a stop to this before it began?
Is it RFK?
Probably not.
Because
this wasn't roadkill.
Okay. No.
RFK was probably hoping for a body. He'd be like,
oh, it's tasty.
Try that one out.
Oh,
no, Maureen, it's not the security. It's not RFK Jr. But in the room was a mentalist, Oz Perlman. He was the evening's entertainment. His whole gig is he can read minds. The fuck are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Just moments before the pandemonium broke out, he was doing a trick on stage where he guessed the name of White House Press Secretary Kellen Livitz as yet to be born baby. Guy could have been helping out.
Yeah.
What are you doing? He had a very good view.
I thought when I saw the video that was Secret Service doing the kind of 9/11, like, sir, there's a shooter. But no, I found out later that was just the magician.
Yeah, it was just the magician. He can read minds.
Doing a little close-up magic for the president.
What do you got? Perlman said he was performing, this is according to USA Today, he was performing for the president and first lady. When I looked up to see a commotion, thought it was a bomb about to go off or shots fired. We hit the deck fast and Secret Service acted decisively and professionally to protect us all. He added, we lay on the ground. I was a couple feet away from President Trump, eyes locked with one another.
Oh, that's
It was
nice.
likely the scariest moment of my life and will never forget it. So happy everyone was okay. He went on to say, they brought the president down directly in front of me, and we just look at each other for about 2 seconds, and my mind is like, oh no, are we about to die? I thought it was about to explode. That was really my instinct. Maureen, this man has one job. What, he's just guessing there's a bomb? Come on, man.
It does show how remarkably easy it would have been to, I don't know, blow up the Washington before.
He has one job. He's been given the gift of sight.
Yeah.
He's just guessing baby names. The fuck is that?
Well, you know what, Dan? Some people really don't want to watch magic. And also, did the shooter had a shotgun?
He had a shotgun and a handgun.
Is that weird?
So I read his manifesto, and he explains he had a shotgun full of buckshot, very specifically to minimize casualties. He has a whole thing. He's like an anti-shooter, basically, where he's like, he went through a whole list of like who he wouldn't shoot. But then at the end, he is like, but I'll actually go through anyone to get to my target.
And who was his target?
Donald
Trump. Was it Trump?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it?
It's a weird one.
It's a weird plan.
It was a weird plan. Weird. I mean, I do have to say, like, many people have said, oh, why was it so insecure? You know, and like you could go into the Hilton, you could check in, you could, you know, no one was searching bags. They weren't putting things through magnetometers. There was apparently one sort of security checkpoint toward these stairs that then went down to the ballroom. So it was a fairly soft target, I guess, you know. That said, the security checkpoint worked, you know. Mm. He sprinted through it. He didn't get into the ballroom. So anyway, speaking of ballrooms, Maureen, this is now being used by Donald Trump and pretty much everyone else on the right to demand that his fucking ballroom get built.
Dan, I'm tired. This makes me want to go back to bed.
Here's something that you will never unhear.
Oh, great.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche tweeted out, "It's time to build the ballroom," as many other people did. But I love, somebody pointed out on Blue Sky that you can just go, "It's time to build the ballroom." You can do it to the theme of the Muppet Show.
Oh.
And now all I've been doing ever since is
it's time to build the ballroom.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I know. It's pretty great, though.
God damn it.
Kind of makes me want them to build the ballroom now.
No, Dan.
Here's my thought, because like the whole thing is like, well, they could have held this in the ballroom. Now, first of all, the White House Correspondents Association is an independent entity and would not be holding an event in the White House ballroom.
Right.
But there've been like multiple, like Lindsey Graham was like, we need to build this ballroom so that, you know, presidents don't have to venture out. And it's like they're gonna Howard Hughes this whole situation. Like he's gonna be walking around that ballroom with fucking
living in an
tissue
aquarium
boxes on his feet soon. And I think maybe they just do it. Maybe build the ballroom, let him fucking never leave, and just build another White House down the way.
Or build a structure like a set that you say is the ballroom. How hard could it be to build a set and just put him in it?
Very easy.
And just be like, this is your house.
You got it.
Here's your house, sir.
Yeah.
Just do that.
I feel like, was it Argentina or something? There was someone that, like a president of some place where they like created fake newspapers. I'm just like, here you go. Like
a kind of presidential Disney World that like you'll kind of build him a little theme park that he lives in.
They could even create little Pepper's ghost illusions and have ghosts haunt them.
How would you like your own little Dan Disney World? They just build you a little Disney World and you get to live in it.
I mean, I'd love it.
Yes.
I'd do it. It'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it is remarkable to me how this happened like 3 days ago and everyone's just like, shrug.
Yeah.
And this is
that night.
This is like the fourth, I think, attempt.
Third.
But no. There was the guy that actually hit him or hit something that hit him, right? On the roof in Pennsylvania. Butler. There was a guy at the golf course once.
Yeah. There
was this one. But in the middle, there was the guy that showed up with like a gun and gasoline at Mar-a-Lago. We never even hear about that guy.
When he wasn't there.
He wasn't there, but still. All right, that's like 4 we know about.
presumably that's just what being president is like.
Well, right. So I did see somebody who I think is in a position to know was like, yeah, there were 11 different attempts at Barack Obama, but we didn't hear about any of them because they were dealt with professionally.
Right.
Not this band of chuckleheads.
Did you ever at any point when this was happening go through your head, fake?
No, I didn't. I mean, that seems to be a very, very, very large contingent of people that are now going fake.
It did very briefly that night. I was like, really? Another, kind of, oh, look at me. Just partially because but I don't think that now, but I think it was partially because I watched the video of how the Secret Service seemed to be moseying around him while there were shots going off. And I was like, really? Okay, sure.
I just think people aren't very good at their jobs most of the time.
I guess the Secret Service is also pretty demoralized at this point where they're like, don't run. Like,
come on. I'm tired. It's late.
I was there for the all night long memeing of album covers and things with the pictures of the various goons and goobers that work for Trump running.
It's a good time.
So that was pretty good.
It's a good time.
Well, Dan, I'm sure we'll have a nice normal week with nothing else weird happening.
It's going to be super chill. No problem.
Are we still at war?
Remember when we invaded Venezuela?
Remember when we started a war with Iran?
Yeah.
Are we in a ceasefire?
I think we're in a ceasefire.
Great.
And I think we're in a double blockade still, but I'm not even sure.
We don't even know.
No one knows.
No one knows?
It's fine. Says Who is made possible by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That is our Patreon where you can do this all over again with your friends Maureen and Dan. I've on Sunday. If you give it the $5 or $10 a month level, that $10 a month level also gets you a sticker that I make just for you. Well, just for you and everyone else that pays at that level. All of that available to you at patreon.com/sayswho. Our theme music was performed by Ted Leo. Our logo was designed by Darth. You can contact us at Says Who Podcast on Blue Sky, at Says Who at omfg.town on Mastodon. You can always email it. Hey, that's HEY at sayswhopodcast.com. Join the discussion on Facebook at /group/SaysWhovians. Our Facebook group is moderated by Janice Dillard. Thanks, Janice. If you want to join the Fan Run Discord server, you can always visit tinyurl.com/sayswhodiscord. Whatever you do, spread the word, subscribe, leave stars and reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever it is that you listen. You can join us next Wednesday, May 6th. May, for our very next episode.
May,
from my basement in Chicago. I am Dan Sinker.
From the coolest city in the world. Hey, Dan, You know what would be incredibly great is if you built your computer, that computer is probably going to need another computer.
It's true.
A
server.
No. Somehow this ends up with Dan standing in a warehouse going, so.
I mean, I don't hate it.
He's got a little whirling creature around him that flies. This is Toby. He's my flying assistant. He's not AI. I built him. He helps me with my tasks.
Yeah. It's all good.
Are you okay?
No. But I'm getting by. Anyway.
I'm going to build you Disneyland.
I would love that.
Dan's Disneyland. Admission
Disneyland.
1. Admission 4. You can have 5. I can come in 2.
Yay.
It's just a big warehouse. Dan gets to, every new day, there's new stuff in there for him to make and tinker with.
That would be the best.
This has been Says Who.
It's fine. I'm fine. Getting it all done.
Yeah, you're getting something done.
It's good. It's all good. It's going to be fine.
Oh, boy.